Hello, this is Dr. Anne Curtis, and welcome to the Make Love for Life New Year webinar. What you're about to hear is the second half of the webinar that Clesia Mendez and I recorded, but unfortunately, I didn't find out until halfway through that the record button hadn't worked. So I'm sorry it starts halfway through a sentence, but I hope you still get a great deal of value out of it. Just to put you in the picture, the recording starts with Clesia talking about her feelings when her previous boyfriend was an hour and a half late arriving for a date, and how she dealt with it when he appeared not to take her seriously. Please let us know if there are any questions or any comments that you have. Thank you and enjoy.
Acceptable, you're out. Our date is off. And he looked at me and he laughed because he was a very grounded guy. He was into sales and he really understand a lot about human relationships. And he looked at me and he laughed and he said, "Ooh, feisty." And that irritated me even more, but it made me laugh. I'm about to laugh right now. But what I meant is that even though I was like really annoyed and I was really feeling my anger, if you want to call it, and I felt justified in it because he was very grounded. He didn't take it too seriously, and I now looking back on the inside, it was his because he was very cool in dealing with personal emotions that we were together for a long time, and we grew together a lot as human beings, right? Because I've got like a lot of strengths that he didn't have, and we've got our weaknesses, but we worked really well as a team. But we started as being friends, but that's that thing. Back in the day, I didn't know about not not believing in your thoughts, and it's important to recognize that the all purpose of thought is to make you believe that it's real. It's just the way thoughts work. The crux of it is not to believe everything you feel or not to believe everything you think.
Yes,
the way
absolutely.
I see it nowadays. Yes.
It's funny you said that because
yes.
no, I was just thinking the same thing with me with my partner now. It's the same thing. I hadn't thought about that, but unlike this guy, the guy that I just mentioned, that when I decided I must express my feelings and got really angry with him, his reaction was a reaction from his thoughts and his feelings, and because it was, again, his reaction was nothing to do with me. His reaction was to leave because he couldn't cope with anger, and his thoughts were telling him this is bad. Whereas your partner just took it as a joke, in a way.
Yes, and for me, it kind of
my
like, oh, feisty.
Exactly, and my partner now is like that too, and that's
and when I like feisty women.
Yeah, and when he doesn't take it as he doesn't take it personally. If I get angry, it's because I'm angry. It's nothing to do with him. Okay, it's my feeling, it's my thought. It's not. He just naturally thinks that way. He just naturally is that way. So he knows that. And at first, I thought that was really arrogant because in the beginning, when I first knew him, I didn't know about the three principles, and I didn't know that he was right. I didn't know. I didn't understand then that my feelings were coming from my thoughts. I still thought then that when I first met him, and it was such a relief. I still thought when I first met him, I thought it's him that's making me feel angry. He's not my thoughts that are making me feel angry. And so when he didn't react to my anger, at first I was put out by it because he wasn't taking me seriously, like you've just said. At first I was put out because he wasn't taking me seriously. And then second, it was a relief. It was like, oh, I can just be me. I can just, I can. He didn't leave when I got angry, So, and that was before I understood that actually I didn't have to express those feelings. I could just notice that my anger was coming from my thoughts, and once I realized that, my thoughts changed and my feelings just went away. But sometimes we are going to express our feelings. Sometimes, sometimes we're human beings. So sometimes we actually speak before we think, or not before we think, because it's the thought that's making us speak. But before we realize where those thoughts are coming from, before we realize that actually it's our own thoughts that are causing us to feel that way, and we can still be convinced that it's the other person that's making us feel that, or the situation that's making us feel that, or whatever. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I was about to say we all do the best we can with the understanding we've got, and when we get a deeper understanding, we do better, isn't it? And it's having that having this awareness and forgiveness for yourself, and accepting we are all in a learning experience. This is what I mean. Instead of feeling guilty because you've made several mistakes in the past. I'm putting my hand up. I've got my share of mistakes that I've done, and looking back, I say, oh, I would have dealt with this differently. Mostly because nowadays I'm a different person, and the fact that I evolved as a woman to become who I am nowadays, and I'm always evolving to the woman that I'm going to become, has to do that I'm always in a learning or in a journey, isn't it? I'm evolving. So looking back and feeling guilty or silly about it doesn't resolve anything. We all did because we had a misunderstanding how things work. And that's the reason why we are here together right now having this conversation, so we can get a better understanding and more clarity about ourselves and understand how the human experience really, really works. And yes, you don't have to believe in your thoughts at all, but you want to see it intellectually, and the other thing is to have that embodied understanding of it. And the more we keep talking to it and having experiences, and at least opening our minds to the possibility of that we can get a glimpse of this, what we are talking about, the more we'll start seeing for ourselves.
Absolutely. And I always taught people or said to people when I was doing my therapy before that all human beings are always doing the best they can in the situation they're in with the resources they have at that time, at that moment. And it is actually in that moment, because in another moment they may have a different thought, a different feeling, a different understanding. But we're just having a human experience. And behind that and underneath that, and we are all part of the greater intelligence, the greater energy. Since we're all energy anyway, we've all got to be part of that. So we can't be, but like that, like it's really important in relationships, not just to forgive ourselves, but to forgive other people. So like you were saying, like that, like the guy that I went out with, who. And we were really in love with each other and everything was really great. And then it all went wrong because I got angry and he got upset because I got angry. Okay, so as we've said, he could have reacted in a different way and I could have reacted in a different way. We were both reacting out of our misunderstanding that our feelings were telling us something when in fact they were just telling us about the thoughts we were having. So there was no point in me getting upset with him for his reaction, even though it was different from the partner that I have now reacts completely differently. Even if I do the same thing, he reacts completely differently because his thoughts are completely different.
Yes. And I would like to add something. For the ladies and maybe some gents who are listening out there, we're not talking about, for example, if someone if they believe their anger and they are physically and even verbally abusive, I would say get out, right? Don't stay there and say, no. Disbelieving, protect your body first.
Absolutely.
We're talking about something completely different. And if you are accepting that sort of treatment, I would say that you're not loving yourself to start with, because if you really knew who you are, no way you would accept that sort of treatment. So this is a caveat of what exactly are we talking about and what we are talking about.
Well, we sort of are. It's not that we're. Yeah, just because you don't accept their behavior doesn't mean that you don't realize. You can still realize that they are a human being doing the best they can in the situation they're in with the resources they have, but that doesn't mean you have to put up with that treatment. You know,
Exactly.
it's you can understand that they are a human being. They're doing the best that they can, and underneath all of that, they are a loving person. But they're just stuck in a misunderstanding. But that doesn't mean you have to sort them out, or that you have to be there and stay there and put up with it.
Yeah.
It's like it's very like if you have a child who's misbehaving, you don't stop loving them because they're misbehaving, but you also don't put up with that behavior.
Exactly.
So you know that there are, you have a deep love for them inside, but you're not going to stand by and say, because it's not good for them either. But
exactly, it's not. Yeah.
you're not going to say, yeah, okay, just keep on doing it. You're going to, as we said before, it's really important to be looking after yourself first. So and your wisdom. If you're in touch with your wisdom will show you which way to go. If you're not reacting from your thoughts and from your feelings, if you allow yourself to get out of that situation, for your thoughts and your feelings to calm and to settle, so that you're in your wisdom, you'll know which way to go and what to do. It comes naturally.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean they're a bad human being. It just means it's bad behavior.
Very,
but
very
I agree
important.
with you. You don't stay and put up with it. No.
Absolutely not. Now that we spoke about that, and we can put it by side, back to internet dating, because I think we've got a couple of minutes before we wrap up this first show. So what sort of tips and, I wouldn't say techniques, what sort of tips would you give if someone is considering doing internet dating, but they've got a lot of thinking about it, they're quite happy being alone, but I don't know, since Christmas, their mom has been asking, so when are you bringing me a new son-in-law? And everyone in your family is married with 4 kids each, and you feel like you're missing out on something. So they're going to try something, this internet dating thing. So what sort of recommendations would you give?
First of all, it's again what I was just saying about being your true self and following your wisdom. So your wisdom will take you to, even as far as where to go, which internet dating site to use and stuff like that. It's amazing what comes up when you're when you just follow your wisdom. But it's about not doing what other people want you to do, but what you want to do and what feels right. No, you're not. Yeah, what feels good. But what came to me just now was that Sydney Banks quote about what we're searching for. Yeah, which I just put on our Make Love for Life page at facebook.com/Make Love for Life. I just put the quote is there, so I might just have a quick look and then I can read it if I can find it. No, it disappeared. Oh yes, wait a minute. Anyway, the one about if you're searching for whatever you're searching for in life, basically he's saying if you're searching for love or you're searching for happiness or whatever you're searching for, you're actually searching for your inner self. So even though we think that we're searching for love, it's really important to keep in mind that we're not going to find what we think we're looking for in someone else. Yeah. So it's great. It's fine to have relationships, to have fun in relationships is great, as long as you're not expecting them to make you feel happy or to make you feel, or to make you feel anything really, because your feelings all come from your own thoughts. So it's really, the more you can be in this space loving yourself, the more easily you're going to attract and find the right person for you and keep the right person for you too. So how does that mean practically? What would stop you doing that? What would stop you doing that, do you think? What would stop you finding someone? If you were out there looking for someone on internet dating, what do you imagine could stop you finding the right person? What do people think stops them?
I'm not too sure. I don't believe in that at all. since we did our last show, I signed up for internet dating again, and I had a couple of messages. And yesterday I was on Skype with a prospective, like I like to call them, and we had a lot of fun. We had a great conversation. But what I see out there, I guess what sometimes people say is that all the good ones are taken. Good men are hard to find. What I don't believe at all. I've been quite lucky. But I believe I find great people. Maybe that's the reason why I find great people.
But that's not.
But it's all thought.
Yeah,
it's
that's
all
not
thought.
lucky. That's not. Yeah, exactly. But it's not just luck. That's the whole point. It isn't just about luck. It's that the right person is there and the right situation is there. It's like, okay, this is always really helps me. Okay, so you know what it's like if you see someone you know and you can't remember their name. And the more you try to remember their name, the more you can't remember it. Okay? The harder you try, the more you can't remember. Right. Well, and that name is there waiting for you. You know, the name is available for you, but you just cannot you can't access it because you're too busy thinking. You're thinking. You're busy thinking, trying to find that answer. So what happens is that as soon as you stop thinking, so as soon as you stop looking for that answer, and you go off and you do something that you enjoy doing that doesn't take any thought. Okay, so you might be driving, you might be having a shower, you might be doing something. You might be, I don't know, gardening or walking or knitting or whatever it is, that listening to music, whatever it is that you enjoy doing that doesn't take any thought. And then suddenly that comes into your mind. Suddenly it comes into your mind that name comes into your mind, right? So this is the same thing. Everything, and that's just one example. But in fact, everything we're looking for in life is available to us in exactly that same way. So if you ask a question like, I wonder how I'm going to find myself in my perfect relationship, or in a really fun relationship, or whatever it is that you think you want at the moment.
Yeah, fun is very important.
Let's say by Valentine's Day. Yeah. Let's say, I wonder how I'm going to find myself in that in my fun relationship or in a perfect relationship.
Can I add a few things there? I may as well be
sure.
your guinea pig. So if it was fun, playful, and juicy, and someone who gives really good hugs. I love hugs.
Okay. Because in any case, at the end of the question, we're going to add something that will. Okay, so you ask this question, and then you say this or something even better.
Oh, okay. I'll jot this one. So it's this or something even better.
Or something even better, because whatever it is that we think is what we need, we are only using our very limited human brain and our imagination to come up with whatever it is that we think would be best for us. Mm-hmm. Whereas, in fact, there are millions and millions and millions of other options that universal thought and universal mind know about and have there ready for us that we haven't even imagined yet. Okay. So
Annie,
if you add
just a quick question. Sorry to interrupt. Yep. Can you post that question on our Facebook
I will
group?
actually. Even better, if people, I will, but I've got a whole list of questions, in fact, and how to ask them. So, if people want to get, I'll send it to you. I'll send you this list. So just contact us through the email address at it's on the Facebook page, but in case you want it here, the email address is Make Love for Life. Make Love for Life at gmail.com.
It's all spelled out, is it?
All spelled out, no numbers. For life at
gmail.com. And what should people write on the title? What should people write on the title when they email us?
Questions?
Questions. Okay.
And
If we say questions to arrive the one or something like that?
Yes, whatever. I mean, I will look at all the emails in any case and send out that. But and also that email address is under contact information for us on the facebook.com/makeloveforlife Facebook page.
Okay.
So there's a whole lot of questions, but actually you can make up whatever question you want. But if say we're using this question or something even better, because it might be that there's someone that there's something even better for you out there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't start and look for the answer. It's the same as if you can't remember somebody's name. You go off and you allow your mind to clear. So you go off and you do as many things as possible to enjoy life. The things that allow your mind to clear, so that you're not in excess thought, so that you haven't got excess thought getting in the way of giving you the answers. Okay. And then you will be amazed at what turns up. So I'd be really interested to hear what people find turns up when they do that, actually. So the answer
I'm looking forward. I'm sorry. I'm sending you the email anyway, asking for the list. So makeloveforlife@gmail.com, all spelled out, and ask for the list, please.
Yes. And how to do it.
So
now. It works really well. And it just means that it's just a way of getting out of our heads and allowing universal mind to give us what it is that's already there waiting for us. So as I said, it's not luck. It's just allowing yourself to have what's already there waiting for you.
So in a sense, it's almost like allowing yourself to receive all that the universe got for you.
Yes, exactly. And that's another misunderstanding. Most of us, and another misunderstanding that I've done all my life until now, was you have to try hard and you have to think about it and you have to do, you have to be, all the personal development stuff that I've done was all about trying hard, and you must do this and you must do that and you must follow this and you must follow that. And it was just such hard work. And in fact, all of that is just overthinking and gets in the way of actually just following the flow and receiving the things that are already there for you and enjoying life. And that's what we're here for, in fact.
Yeah, so it can be effortless after all.
Absolutely. And even when I say that's what we're here for, I know a lot of people think that they are here to serve the world, and that's fine. That's good. And of course we are all here to do that in some ways, whether that's through having children or running a business or whatever it is. And people just, but all of that will come to you in exactly the same way if you ask the question and then let go of it and let it come, all of it. Yeah. So.
Oh, this is beautiful. I feel that we are coming to a close for today's show. Do you feel the same, or would you like to add something?
I do now. No, I think we've probably said enough. I think there's enough there for people to be going on with for today. And
okay.
And if people would like to send us questions in the meantime, they can do that.
So just to let you know, Anne, so I sent you an email right now to makeloveforlife@gmail.com, and I put the title Questions to Find the One. So everyone who was with us today, thank you very much for staying. You know where you can get in touch. You can either find us on Facebook, so that would be facebook.com/makeloveforlife, or you can send us an email directly to makeloveforlife@gmail.com. And this was Clesia Mendez and Dr. Anne Curtis. So until we meet again, be awesome.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye, Anne.